welcome back on board the
Thank you for having me.
Supercede yacht. We've got Mark Bennett, friend of the podcast, returning. He's, of course, the Global VP of Business Development for ACORD.
Indeed.
An exciting role, and one that brings you to the best places, including our admittedly very hot yacht. We're sweating a little bit here, but it's still delightful to be here with you on the yacht.
Oh, we're on a yacht in Monaco. You know, that's not for a Tuesday afternoon. That isn't too bad a place to be. Absolutely.
Exactly. But we wanted to dig into this a bit. What brings an organisation like yourselves, which is not a cedant, a broker, or an underwriter, to a reinsurance conference?
Great question. So, you'll know ACORD as a industry association, 36,000 participating organisations, every major broker, insurer, reinsurer, software vendor, marketplace like Lloyd's of London, are part of our global ACORD community. So subscribe to ACORD for a common set of digital data standards. We have a set of standards focused on global reinsurance and large commercials or specialty risks, for which many of our participating organisations are here today, negotiating reinsurance terms for the 1/1 renewals coming up for 2024. So, as part of ACORD being here, we're obviously making sure that we're getting inputs, kind of networking, making sure we're obviously working with our members to make sure they're getting the most out of ACORD. Are they getting the most out of the data standards, contribution to the evolution of them? Are they getting the most out of ACORD's investments in technology for ACORD Solutions Group as a messaging capability to enable them to exchange data? A Swiss Re to connect to an Aon, Willis to connect to a Renaissance Re, for example. So yes, that's why we're here, but largely for networking and collaboration with our members.
Oh, brilliant. And this year been going well so far? We're a couple of days in, I guess, and a couple of days to go.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 26 meetings, a jam-packed schedule. So yeah, very full on, but going extremely well so far. And it's just, it's lovely to visit some beautiful places around this gorgeous part of the world, but also, great to collaborate with members who are normally so globally based that it's a video phone call rather than an in-person one. So lovely to have everyone together.
Definitely. Yeah. And so what are the sort of main topics that are coming up this year? As we're Rendezvous 2023, only the second one since the pandemic that we've been back. What are people talking about? That's
a good question. So I think there's a massive, obviously the dominance of the conversations we have with our members is less about the market conditions, it's more about how can their investment in ACORD is ultimately grow and scale and expand. And there's definitely, and COVID's been a key contributing factor for it, is digital transformation and digital exchange. So we're seeing more and more organisations who were, so to speak, on the peripheral, looking in on some of the early adopters of digital data exchange, going, we need to now understand what is ACORD, what is this messaging, how do I get myself ready? So virtually every single conversation I have now is kind of joining the dots up. I kind of like to think that we are one of those kind of children's games where you literally are kind of joining them up in so much as to say, okay, Mr. Reinsurer, what's your core system? Who are your core brokers? Which offices are they based in? Who's writing, who are the key gross written premium contributors to your organisation? And then we can join up to say, well, good news is your vendor is message enabled. Good news is your key brokers are also message enabled. Or, unfortunately, bad news, one of your cedants isn't message enabled. But don't worry, we can digitise their documents into digital messages as if they were. So we're kind of doing that analysis piece with our members at the minute so that they can sit there as a business case and go, right, we've heard about this digital messaging, we want to do it. Now we can see for our own book of business, our key trading partners, what this really means for us.
Yeah, very exciting. I guess, feels like, I don't know if you've seen the new Supercede white paper that's just come out on the reinsurance data crisis, but it seems like people are increasingly aware of how much pain they're causing themselves and all of their partners by not adopting standards and trying to do things in a way that makes life easier for everybody throughout the chain. You must be a big advocate of good data and standards.
Data first, on a common language is absolutely, of course, the kind of the bedrock of what ACORD are ultimately trying to deliver. And to be clear, ACORD are an organisation representing that community of ACORD members who have all decided a common standard, a common language is the way to go. We're just the facilitators of making sure the standards have governance and control and providing technology to accelerate the adoption of said standards. So 100% is a key kind of focus area of many organisations right now.
Very exciting. And do you have any key updates or messages you'd like to share with our ever-growing reinsurance podcast audience?
I love your podcast, and I love everything you're doing, and it's very simple, it's very straightforward, and it's business first is your messaging. I think it's great. So what would I say? I'd say if I'm a cedant, I'm a broker, I'm a reinsurer. Start to take a look at who are your key trading relationships, how are you trading with them today, as is landscape effectively, and model out what a 2B could look like if you adopted digital technologies such as Supercede, utilising ACORD standards, utilising some of our messaging capability to see what a 2B could do, and then go speak to others who've done it before. Learn from them, learn the experiences, and learn the kind of efficiency gains they've gained by doing so.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much, Mark, for joining us on the show. I'm sure
Pleasure.
it won't be the last time. We'll see you back next year in Monte Carlo as well, I'm sure, too.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks
Cheers.
for being on the show.